The little playground near Maple Street was usually quiet on weekday afternoons. Ethan liked it that way. He sat on a worn wooden bench, watching his 5-year-old daughter Lily carefully arrange leaves and pebbles near the slide. Her small laugh drifted through the air, soft and bright, and for a moment, Ethan forgot how heavy life had felt lately. Being a single dad hadn't been part of his plan. 3 years earlier, his wife had passed away suddenly, leaving him with grief, unanswered questions, and a tiny child who depended on him for everything. Since then, Ethan had learned how to braid hair, pack lunches shaped like animals, and hide his tears until Lily was asleep. He had just taken a sip of his coffee when a woman hurried toward him. She looked flustered. Her brown coat hung loosely on her frame, and strands of dark hair escaped from a messy ponytail. Her eyes darted behind her as if she were being chased. "Excuse me," she said quickly, stopping in front of his bench. "Yes," Ethan replied, standing instinctively. Before he could ask anything else, she blurted out, "Act like you love me, please." Ethan blinked. "I'm sorry." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Just pretend you're my boyfriend, please, only for a minute." He hesitated, completely confused. Then he noticed a man near the park entrance, packing and staring at his phone. Every few seconds, the man looked up, clearly searching. The woman followed Ethan's gaze and swallowed. "That's my ex. He doesn't take no very well. I told him I'd moved on, but he didn't believe me." Ethan had never been the spontaneous type. He liked structure, routine, predictability, but something in her voice, raw and scared, made his chest tighten. Before he could overthink it, he nodded. "Okay." Her shoulders sagged in relief. She slipped her hand into his. It felt surprisingly natural. Ethan pulled her gently closer, wrapping one arm around her waist. The woman froze for half a second, then relaxed against him. He leaned down and kissed her temple softly, the way he used to comfort his wife when she was anxious. The man at the entrance stopped walking. He stared. Ethan felt the woman's fingers tighten around his. "Hey," Ethan said loudly, smiling as if he hadn't a care in the world. "You want to get Lily some ice cream?" Lily looked up. "Ice cream?" The woman laughed nervously. "She's adorable." "Mine," Ethan said proudly. The man watched for another moment, then finally turned and walked away. The woman exhaled sharply, almost collapsing against Ethan. "Thank you," she whispered. "I didn't know what else to do." He released her gently. "Are you okay?" She nodded, brushing her hair behind her ear. "Yeah, I'm Mara." "Ethan." They stood there awkwardly for a moment. "Well," Mara said softly, "I should probably go." Ethan surprised himself by replying, "If you'd like, you can stay. Lily won't forgive me if I skip ice cream now." Mara hesitated, then smiled. "Okay." They sat together on the bench while Lily proudly picked a pink popsicle. Mara told Ethan she worked at a small publishing house. Ethan shared that he did freelance design from home so he could be there for Lily. Conversation flowed easier than either expected. When Mara finally left, she waved shyly at Lily and thanked Ethan again. He watched her walk away, feeling something unfamiliar stir in his chest. Over the next few weeks, Ethan found himself thinking about Mara more than he'd admit. Then one afternoon, she reappeared at the same park. This time she wasn't panicked. She smiled when she saw him. "I was hoping you'd be here." They started meeting casually, sometimes for coffee, sometimes just to sit and watch Lily play. Mara was gentle with Lily, patient in a way that told Ethan she had a kind heart. Lily, who was usually cautious around strangers, warmed to her quickly. "Is Mara coming today?" Lily asked one morning. Ethan paused. "Maybe." That word, maybe, carried more hope than he realized. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep on Ethan's shoulder during a movie night, Mara helped tuck her into bed. "She trusts you," Mara whispered. Ethan swallowed. She hasn't trusted anyone like this since her mom. Mara looked at him softly. You're doing an amazing job, Ethan. Those words hit harder than any compliment he'd ever received. But fear lingered beneath the surface. Ethan had walls built high. Loving someone again felt dangerous. He had already lost once, and the thought of Lily getting attached to someone who might leave terrified him. Mara seemed to sense his distance. One night as they walked through the quiet park, she stopped under a streetlight. Ethan, can I ask you something? Of course. Are you holding back because of me, or because of your past? He didn't answer right away. Finally, he said, both. Mara nodded slowly. I don't want to replace anyone, I just want to be here, if you'll let me. He looked at her, really looked at her. The woman who had once begged a stranger to pretend to love her now stood in front of him, offering something real. His reaction surprised even himself. He reached for her hand. I don't know how to do this perfectly, he said, but I know I don't want to keep pushing you away. Tears filled Mara's eyes. She smiled, that's enough. Months passed, and what began as a strange encounter in a park slowly turned into something steady and warm. Mara became part of their routine. Saturday pancakes, evening walks, helping Lily with coloring books. She never forced her place, never rushed Ethan's healing. One rainy afternoon, Lily climbed onto Mara's lap and asked, Are you staying forever? Mara glanced at Ethan, uncertain. Ethan's chest tightened. He walked over and knelt in front of his daughter. Some people come into our lives for a reason, he said gently, and sometimes they stay. Lily smiled and hugged Mara. That night after Lily was asleep, Ethan stood on his balcony with Mara, city lights glowing below. You know, Ethan said quietly, the day you asked me to pretend to love you. Mara chuckled, worst pickup line ever. He smiled, maybe, but it changed everything. He took her hands. I spent so long protecting myself that I forgot how to live. You reminded me. Mara's voice trembled, Ethan. He kissed her slowly, carefully, not like a performance, not like a favor. Like a promise. Later, as they held each other, Mara whispered, Thank you for choosing us. Ethan looked through the glass door at Lily's sleeping form. No, he said softly, thank you for walking into that park. Because sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand plans. Sometimes it begins with a frightened woman, a tired single dad, and one simple request. Act like you love me, please. And sometimes, pretending turns into something real.